everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will be talking about weight reduction on my MR2 Spyder, but obviously this could work for every single car. There are two types of weight reduction. Would be the dead weight, basically removing anything on the car, and the unsprung weight. Now obviously the unsprung weight is way more serious and matters more. Even a kilo of an unsprung weight makes a huge difference, and that would apply to tires, wheels, brake rotors, etc. Basically things that rotate and they need force. But dead weight is still a pretty good matter. Even losing a couple kilos of weight, a diet would help eventually decrease the time on the quarter mile. So today we'll be talking about a thing that everyone can do without having to starve out and do a diet and lose weight and become skinny like me maybe. Would be this little guy right here. Now if you haven't understood what this is, well, this is a battery. And I can hold it with one hand, or actually I can hold it with two fingers, you can see. And it's pretty interesting. This specific one is the Noco Nlp9. It's a LIFEP04 battery. Well, no, P04 battery. It is different to the complete lithium batteries because those, tend to, how would I say?
Holy fuck.
Explode, overheat, and melt. And you don't want that happening to your engine bay, or even if you relocate it inside your car, you obviously don't want an explosion inside your car when you're driving. So those, with the 4 basically, are a little bit different, and I'm not a guy that works with electrics too much. I just understood the basics and what I have to do in order to have these on my car installed. So yeah, I don't exactly know the difference on why those are that safer, but they don't tend to explode, they don't have such issues, they are safer. Specifically, before we get into the whole talking, you can skip here if you don't want to just listen to me. Go where we actually do the practical stuff. We test things for parasitic loss. We explain how parasitic loss can be reduced, even though I will be talking about it too. But yeah, if you don't want to see my face, even though I'm pretty handsome, you can skip to that time here. The guys that are interested for the talking part though, I have the, as I said, Nlp9. It is the second smallest Noco battery. The smaller one would be Nlp5, but don't even think about it. And even the Nlp9 will be giving me some headache, as I've understood, because no, it does have a lot of power. This little tiny guy that weighs only a kilo, this is only a kilo, and that would be with all the plastics around it for the adjustment of height. I have removed the plastics below. There is like an adapter, and the plastic right here, actually it's metal on the top side. I've removed it, and it weighs 900 grams. 900 grams, not even a kilo. But I would still not advise the Nlp9. I would go for the Nlp14 and above, because it would be safer for a daily driver. And what I mean safer is that, yeah, both of them have enough power to crank a 1cc, 2cc, 1.8 liter engines, a K20. I've heard many people use it. The issue is not about the starting, but is about maintaining battery overnight and over long periods of sitting. If you are going for straight racing and you don't have a problem removing the connection, so you completely shut every electronic on the car, then no big deal. The Nlp9 is 100% safe for you, and even better than the a little bit bigger for 400 grams difference. I only got the Nlp9 because I got an amazing deal. Those things go around $140 if I'm not mistaken. I got it for $60, and I got it for $60, and it still has 3.5 years of warranty. So that deal was amazing and pretty sweet. So I did not try to search more and get the Nlp14 or above, so I got this one. Now what happens here exactly? This one has only 3.6 hour AH, basically what was it, ampere per hour. Yeah, you see, I'm not really a master at those, but I know enough to install that on my car and get the benefits of, you know, almost 15 kilograms of weight reduction, because the stock MR2 51-hour battery weighs 14 to 50 kilograms. This one is not even a kilogram, so you already lose like 13 or 40 kilograms. Then you don't really need all that heavy, well, metallic adapter and plate for the stock battery. You can just completely gut that and make a 3D printed nice little holder, or even do a DIY aluminum plate above it and stick it wherever you can on the bottom of the engine mount that has a small hole. So yeah, we're talking 15 if not more kilograms of weight reduction with 3.6 Ah. This battery, with the parasitic loss that my car has, and we will show how to measure parasitic loss in this video specifically, would drain on about 3 to 4 days completely. And this battery has a modified BMS system that basically doesn't allow it to discharge completely, because those batteries don't like to be discharged, and if they are discharged, charging them with your car alternator would not be healthy and eventually limit its life. And about its life, well, they can survive 8 to 10 years. This is a lot, but they do require a lot of respect and a lot of treatment. So one of those treatments would be the Noco Nlp9 that I have right here. Very nice, cheap, interesting piece of material. So let's talk a little bit about it till we get back to the battery. So you can charge normal 12-volt batteries, you can charge AGM 12-volt batteries, lithium 12-volt batteries. Those actually need their own chargers. You cannot use a whatever charger to work with a lithium battery, not the Noco one, but every lithium battery. And yeah, then you have a 6-volt battery that you can put it to, and there is a mode, a force basically charging, that will actually revive a complete dead battery, not a lithium one, an AGM, or a normal one, I guess, because the lithium one, if it shows 0 voltage, well, it's done, it's time to throw it away. Now back to the battery, because, you know, we don't really have much to review about the Genius one. You connect it to the plug, you put it to, it has only one button, the mode here. You click it, you get to the battery you want to use, charge, and you connect the positive and the negative poles, and you're ready to go. Nothing to worry about. It has this flashing light here, red, and once it gets green, it is 100% charged, and once it is green and pulsing slowly, it means that it went to maintenance mode, something that those Noco lithium batteries really need. Now, what did I mean about respecting those batteries? We will try to make a safe kill switch mode that I could activate without having to completely kill the daily drivability of the car. For example, I would like to have my ECU, even though it's aftermarket, a standalone, to still have the battery, the power it needs. I would like to supply it with power. Same for the, you know, key entry that you click on the key, and my security system. Now, I don't think that those are that low on voltage, and they do actually create some parasitic loss, but in this video we will show how much I have and how I can slowly reduce it a little bit to increase the 3-4 days of complete drainage to maybe almost a week or two, so I can be safe and say, okay, today I will just use the trigger charger to get it to a good maintenance level. Tomorrow I will drive it. The next day I will just relax and I won't have to do anything, because the other day I will be able to use it again with no problem. So there is some specific type of treatment for those. Now, if you don't have a trigger charger, I would honestly advise you to do so, because yeah, there might be a day that you won't be driving the car. It will be way too cold. These batteries under 0 degrees Celsius start having some issues. Not actually, you would be fine if you would go in the car and open the lights for 20-30 seconds just to give a little bit of heat to the circuit, but overall it would be nice for you to just remove it. It's not a big deal actually for the MR2. It has 4 plugs, as you can see, in each pole and you can connect it anywhere you want. And if you don't want to have extra weight reduction, you can remove the poles. If we remove this bolt right here, the poles are disconnected and you can connect the pole right in there. But okay, let's not do that overkill thing, and you know, it's nice as it is, right? After turning the battery upside down for some extra information, I see charging temp -10 to 50 degrees Celsius, operating temp -20 to 60, storage temp -20 to 60. That is pretty impressive because I said below zero they tend to have issues, but I mean maybe they tend to have issues on cars because they are not designed for cars, they are designed for motorbikes. But for that reason I'm here to show you literally everything, and if I have forgotten something now, I will be able to talk it out in the rest of the video. And what will happen next after using it for a while, or unless I get something noticeable like a problem or something interesting that happened, or if I needed to use a jump starter, or if the kill switch was not designed properly, something like that, I will make a video. So after this video I would advise you to click on my channel, go ahead and search for a video. If there is no new video about this battery, it means that so far we're pretty good. If there is a video, well, if it's after a year, I will obviously make a review after a year to talk about what we had with this battery and what was our experience of daily driving with such little battery. So yeah, let's get to the interesting part now. We are now starting the interesting part, as I said. We will first start with checking the parasitic loss, how much we have and if we have more than normal, and then we will see what we can remove in order to reduce it. Obviously having a second guy helping you with that would be
It can also be a guy.
nice.
It doesn't have to be a guy necessarily.
Yeah, okay, I would not trust. No, okay, I would. All right, so
Almost got cancelled.
the only thing you need is a multimeter, and you shall be perfectly fine. Start by removing, or actually disconnecting, the negative pole. All right, loosen. Yeah, actually, you're right, Alex. Once we loosen it, the car now is with everything locked 100%. I have the alarm, the security is locked. Yeah, everything is as if the car would be sitting overnight, or I just locked it and I'm going somewhere. Now, with your multimeter, you want to go to amps and go to this guy right here. Am I showing it? No, I'm not in. Now we are. And you want the, where is the negative? Okay, we have a spaghetti here already. You will connect this one in the middle as always, all right? And the positive one will go to the 10 amp max location instead of the voltage that mostly taxes. All right, that's a cat behind us having a hard time with something. The cool stuff now. So I will have, that's the cool stuff and hard stuff actually. I will have to touch the negative one on the pole, while Alex will touch it on the positive, and he will disconnect it. How we're gonna do that, I will have to be on the other side. Hold that, Alex. I will have to be on the other side in order, wait. Am I touching the pole now? I think I am. Now you will have to remove it. Slowly. All right, perfect. So 0.004. So that's 40 amps, basically. That is not parasitic loss. That is just below the 50 mark, and you are safe. You don't have a parasitic loss. All right, so we found a solution in order to save at least one hand, or one guy with two hands, as we have Alex here. So yeah, you can now remove. Oh, yeah, am I touching it correctly? I think I am. Remove it slowly. Yeah, we're good. And we are on, again, I said 40 milliamps, sorry. Now let's see if my valved exhaust does any difference here. Yeah, it does! That's fucking amazing for us right now. It put... What the fuck was
The
that?
guy was like, fuck off, bitch. Maybe the alarm just, no, it just gave me.
No, I just moved my hand maybe a little bit and it didn't have a... Touch it again, please. Touch that to the positive one, just to make sure that this is the deal. remove it. Alright, so yeah, we will definitely remove that. We will wire it to the ignition on, because it's pulling almost 10 milliamps, and that is crazy. That changes already. It gives us almost 2 days for our little battery to survive. We'll be doing a stupid thing now. So, okay. Alex removed it, and
there's absolutely nothing.
There is no difference right now. Put it back in. Sucks. Remove maybe the second one.
Wait, where's the cap for this?
Which one? Oh, we're fucking with the ECU now?
Nope, this is the fuel injection. Nope, this did nothing. Now we're gonna fuck with the ECU. Είναι εδώ κάτω.
Έχουμε και συναγερμό, Αν βγάλω συναγερμό, περίμενε. Άκου μαλάκα, θα κάνουμε το ECU απλά τότε. Άντε κατέβαμε 0,2 αγάπημα. Ωραία, δε.
0,01.
Θα κλειδώσω. So for today we're actually done. We did check the parasitic loss. The MR2 did not have any significant parasitic loss, but with what we had previously, the battery would only survive 3.6, 3.5 days eventually with the loss that we had. We removed a couple fuses till we found the ECU body 1 fuse. It's a 25-1, Alex?
Yep.
Yeah. And this fuse basically controls the interior dome light, the radio, the doors. We found that we could not close the doors with keyless entry, with a button. We could only, lock it manually, or with my security system I can lock it by clicking on that, on pushing the button. So basically dome light, radio, that body, basically body ECU. That cut us about 0.01, that's a lot actually, plus by removing the valved exhaust system that I had, we will put it on the key. So if we get monetized, this guy pays, okay? He opened the music, initial D soundtrack on the back. Basically,
guess in the comments which track it was.
If you heard it, do it. If you didn't, we do not care.
We do not care.
Basically, what happens is that we dropped it from 0.4 to 0.02, and now the car can sit up to 7.5 days without completely draining the battery. The idea is that if I don't lock the car with the security system and I lock it, Alex is messing up with us, but what I was saying is that from 0.02 with the security system alarm on, I can just lock the car with the keys like a normal car, and it will drop to 0.01, basically no parasitic loss. So first of all, we know that the ECU cables and everything on the car are perfectly fine, and by removing this common state of sucking power, many people have parasitic loss from the body 1 ECU. So basically by doing a kill switch there, we will drop it to 0.01, and the car will be able to survive 16 days. So if I ever need to put the car on standby more than 16 days, well, obviously I can just remove the whole battery. It's very light, it's 2 screws, so I think it's more than enough. If my theory is right, you take the AH, divide by 0.0 whatever parasitic loss you have, and divide by 24, and the number you get is the days that the battery can survive till it's completely drained. It is day number 2 and we are waiting for Alex. Well, basically that's what we're gonna need for the kill switch assembly, and a little bit of cable that Alex will bring with him, maybe some crimps. But basically the idea here is that we have a switch, on off toggle switch, normal switch. I'm not sure why we need the third one, but we're not going to connect it to anything. I think it's which way you want it to be on and off, even though this is a closed circuit, so it is on, and this is an open circuit if I'm not wrong, so it's off. But anyways, you need a switch. What we're gonna do, this is I don't know how you call it in English, but a thief basically for the fuse. You connect it where the fuse is supposed to go. So in our specific situation, we're gonna connect it to the 25 one of the ECU B1. We're gonna connect it, and with some new wires we're gonna get to shoulder the how you call it, some wires here that will go to this switch, and after this switch we're gonna get a wire. We're gonna connect this one and put the 25 fuse here, so we'll be actually having a fuse in line with our connection, so it's not gonna be just a no fuse type of situation. So we want to keep the safety. So basically that's it. You get a wire from here to here, connect it to here, get the fuse, and then shoulder the rest of the wire, the remaining one, to the other side. Now for our exhaust system that draws a little bit of parasitic loss, we have this 12 volt, I think Alex said, that it's constant, and if we're lucky we will be able to turn it on and off with our switch. But if for some reason this draws power every time, just like the fuse acts, and it's not connected to the recovery from this side that we're gonna close with the switch, well, the idea is that we will have to remove it, cut it from wherever we like, and have a new idea for the exhaust that will be drawing power only with the key on. So let me show you now a simple diagram that I've created for you, and then we will be able to actually do those things. Yeah, I know that diagram wasn't perfect, but we have Alex here already, so he will do it for us and I will show you the final result. So by checking with the multimeter, we come to an understanding that the idea with the valve exhaust system will not work, so we'll eventually just cut this off pretty short so it won't be wiggling around the fuse box. But yeah, we'll have to get another of these guys to do the same thing, or not actually the same thing, put it on a fuse that gets power only when the key is on. Yeah, you did not see that, but other than that, let's get started.
Proper soldering 101. Flex. However this is called, I forgot. And this, first of all, you thin the, something I do, almost no one does it, is actually to deoxidize the tip. I dip it in the solder for a little bit. Do not break this, by the way. Not that serious, but don't get away from it, it's not weak. Then you thin the nozzle.
Whatever, nozzle.
The tip, you thin the tip. I don't know if you can focus, but it's thin. And now κάνε το περάσουμε να δεν καταλάβεις τίποτα. Now you need to apply solder on the top, otherwise you get a cold joint. Okay. And now this should be preferably the perfect solder. If you can see, you can define the wire, it's not just a blob of solder. And it's pretty strong actually. So yeah. Trap in the basement, he said don't talk. Show that shit, that's money. Δείξτε με αυτά ότι λειτουργούν, ότι δεν είναι μαλακίες.
Sure.
Ακούμπησε τα αυτά μεταξύ τους. Και πριν το κόψεις, δείξω και το fuse, ότι ακόμα υπάρχει. Και κάναμε διαφήμιση κινέζικα που δεν.
Well, Alex was saying that the La Revma went la kaput for some reason, and the reason is because he did something stupid with electricity, and
How the fuck did I do something stupid?
you did something stupid.
Yeah, the soldering iron grounded on the shelf and it tripped the... I don't know.
Well, I have a second one now. We're gonna use it and get the final touch up here to the thief fuse, and if everything goes right, we are pretty much ready to go to have an on-off switch parasitic loss reducer or something like that. He is not capable of holding the bubble that he is making. He made it, but he did not.
Πρέπει να κάτσει πάνω στο τέτοιο.
He is struggling a little bit. So the first attempt was a complete fail with trying to shoulder them. So we will crimp them. We made a new device here. Looks sturdy
Basically, cut these
in length.
male, female anyways connectors. These are the male ones, very tiny ones. We have, έχουμε μέσα τις αδείξεις.
Alright,
And we'll
chillax.
crimp them on.
Let's see how this is going to work. Let's wish it will be a bit more successful than the previous try, and then obviously we'll try to heat sink them properly so there won't be no humidity or something. So the first one seems to be fine. Alex is giving all the gadugas he can. All of them. And now it's time. Yeah, those exposed ones will be definitely covered with something, but drugs. Kids don't do drugs, it's not a cool thing.
LSDs is a very good thing.
Yeah, limited diff.
Exactly.
Doesn't look perfect, but looks good.
Looks decent, doesn't look good. Good is the last one. Yeah, we can tape this up.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely tape this up because we don't want anything exposed. But it looks Chinese. It is Chinese. Well, that was a seasonal weather swap. Honestly, it's been like 5 days since the last clip with the Chinesium thief. We still have one more here that we will work with it right now. But yeah, that was a cool thing that the weather did for us basically. It's slowly getting to the summer times, and you know, heat, and you know, Greece has lots of high temperature days, so it wouldn't make a pretty fair overall analogy and testing. So the weather was like, okay, you installed the battery, I will give you 2-3 days of super harsh coldness for Greece at least, and you will do your testing, you will make your clips, and you will be ready to go. Basically what happened is we put the battery, we had a weak start at the beginning, as I said before on the preview at the beginning of this video, but everything was fine. Eventually the weather dropped to 0 degrees Celsius, +1, 0, -1, not really. But yeah, that's pretty cold, and that's as cold as it gets here in Greece. And we tried to start the car after 2 days outside in the coldness without, you know, 0 start, 0 nothing. And the first try was bizarre. I tried to start it and it didn't even turn the engine. I'm like, okay. Second try, I hear cranks, but not really that much. And after 1.5 crank, it dies. And I'm like, okay, the battery is dead. We're not gonna do that, you know, I will put it on the trigger charger, and yeah, whenever it works for the summertime it's fine, and then I will just get a new battery, lithium or not, I don't care. And then I go to the third charge and I try it again, and it starts like a charm. And honestly, now we got the idea of the lithium batteries. I did many testings to see if that's actually impeccability, like it doesn't have enough ampere per hour to be stored for 2, 3, 4 days, but that's not the case, and we will talk about it more at the end of this video. So for now, in order to finish the video nicely, we will first talk about what we actually did. We have the 3D printed amazing box from Alex. It's a pretty straightforward thingy. It's not too difficult to make, but it's still pretty nice, and he did it very quickly. And then we will talk about how to actually connect one of those in order to have something drawing power only when you put the key on the ignition, and not like 24/7 drawing power and being parasitic loss. So we will do that. Once we finish recording, we will go upstairs and I will have a greater talk about what the results were, and then after a year, or if it fails before a year, we will have an update video for that video. Let's go. I know there is lots of wind noise, but I can't do better. So for now, we have this nice box that Alex made. Again, it's just a box, it's very simple, but it's really nice. It looks like a quality one, and the fitment is perfect. The battery is not going anywhere. It's really hard to even unplug it, and it just fits perfectly. Below this, we have made this, we have lots of shards here I have to clean. We've made this metal part here that goes above. I don't know how I will be able to record it for you, but yeah, one bolt right through here. We've drilled the 3D printed box, and it drills right on the mount here, right there below that. And the other one, we just made a new hole and we inserted a bolt and tightened it down. It's perfect, it's very nice. Now here we have the kill switch assembly. Unfortunately, we won't be able to do the second one here because it doesn't fit, but yeah, the kill switch is right here. It goes through there. The cap is very easy to close, nothing different than before. And with all of that looking OEM and nice, we go through that hole right there, and let me show you what we have in the inside. Right there we have this knob laying around. It's an on-off switch, pretty easy. The fuse right here, and I can make it covered by just putting it inside here, like literally push it through there, and that's it. You won't be able to see it, it's hidden. It's like the ECU master USB that I have. That's the update for now, and let's work on the last part. This is the positive side of the exhaust valve, and the negative side is right here on the ground, or maybe not this one right here. We will do the job here. I will have the fuses here, and from there we will be able to put the cable down here, pass it around there, put it back, go towards that side, and then again have to pass the whole firewall through the plastic as we did with the kill switch, and then get this cable to connect and crimp. So let's see how we will do it. Let's find out how exactly the fuses work and which one we will pick from the inside, and then when Alex is here we will just crimp everything together and we shall be ready. So let me show you what you want to do with the multimeter. Put it on the 12 volt setting, and then ground this one anywhere you want. Basically I did it with this Phillips head screw, and with the positive side go around the fuses and see the readings. So you want to see 0 while you're doing that with the key off. Basically, if you touch any of those 20 fuses and the ground, you will see it will be 12 and 13. Unfortunately, I don't have a stand to exactly do it for you, but that's what exactly is going to happen. But this guy right here will count 0, and once we will put the key and put it on the ignition, it will start counting 12 13 volts, and that's amazing. So we will basically remove this fuse and put our adapter on top of it, put this fuse on the adapter and another one that we need the same just to be secured, so we will fuse it and then just get a long, as I said, wire to go back. So we're good to go. By the way, which one are we using? It is the 20 right here, so it is the wiper. Are those these wipers? Yeah, if that's the case, I think we are really good. So now that we have Alex with us, we will be able to actually show you how to measure those. So again, a ground, and if I go, for example, here, you will see that it reads 13.2 volts, and that's even without the key. Now if I go to the other 21 that we will be actually using, 0. So okay, you're like, you don't have power there. It's the wipers, obviously. You see they don't even work if I use the right one. Yeah. Now if I put the key into the ignition, it will give power to the wiper motor, actually wipers motor. And now if I don't get monetized, yeah, I was quick enough, we will ground it again and touch the same side of the same fuse, and as you can see we read 12 volts. That's enough for our little valve system, so that's pretty good, and that's what we're gonna do. So basically we will remove this one, as I said already, the wipers 20 fuse, and let's show you how we will do that. Alex is trying to fight the wind. He did the crimps in that side. Now he's putting the heat sink. Yeah.
Heat shrink.
Heat shrink.
Yep.
Amazing. But there is no heat, bro. What you gonna do?
Everyone knows it should shrink.
Yeah, by the way, you can see that my phone is glitching. It's because of the low battery. That's Xiaomi Life. But yeah, don't burn my battery if it's possible. Okay, I will put my hand, bro. Listen, look. So simple. Wait, don't burn me though.
Talk to nature.
Yeah, which side is the wind coming from? It's
everywhere.
Nice. Battery, let's show you the final product. It is working. There we go. The fuse that we are getting the power from. We got the line right here, and we passed it through this plastic thingy and then through the firewall, and it connects to the exhaust. Now there is a chance that the fuse box, the small one that the exhaust valve has, might heat and make a rattling noise. I will fix that with the spongy tape that I have, but other than that it works perfectly. Every time I put the key on the ignition, the exhaust valve gives the signal a small beep noise, and yeah, that's how, literally, you're not doing it just for the exhaust valve, you're doing it for anything you would like to have not draining your battery overnight or a parasitic loss problem to your car. So you can do it that way. You know, the previous way was a really DIY way. Anyways, it's really cold. Let's finish it and we'll have a final talk upstairs. Well guys, another video comes to an end, and it's another success for now, at least. As I said, there will be an update video on this battery, on how much it lasted and how it was during the whole season. But so far I got a pretty neat idea on how they work, or at least how the Noco Nlp9 works specifically, because there are many types of lithium-ion batteries. For example, the anti-gravity one that has a partial BMS, and then some other lithium-ion batteries that don't have BMS at all, and there are some risks that may shorten the life duration of the battery. Overall though, for my battery, in colder weathers it will struggle, and in very cold weathers, for at least my country, you know, 0 to 1 degree Celsius, it will struggle a lot, to the point that it won't be able to start the car on the first 2 cranks. But after the first 2 cranks, maybe if you open the lights for 10 seconds as well, just to draw some voltage and heat up the inside cells of the battery, because basically what happens on colder weathers is that the density there, it's cold soak basically, the cells, and there is lots of resistance. The molecules or whatever can't really do the chemical reaction properly, and that reduces the amount of power, amperage specifically, that the battery can draw and have as an output. So you basically are stuck with very, very low power because of that resistance. Once you heat it up a little, the cells start moving, everything is fine, and it is now ready to give full potential power and start your car fairly easily. The idea here is that many people say that those batteries will be able to just turn the engine 3-4 times before they will need a recharge. So basically, if the first time you fail, the second time something happens and you fail again, and the third time maybe your starter just doesn't align, that's it, there won't be a forced start. And for me, or at least my battery currently, this is not the case. This is the complete opposite. I will always have to try first, or not always actually, because the first days with 7-8 degrees Celsius, the car would start with a first try, but very weakly. But when it got really cold, the first 2 times it would just die. You would just crank it and that's it. But the third time works always like a charm and really strong. Other than that, I think we are pretty much done for today's video. But again, the update will be luckily not soon, because again, if it's soon, that means that something happened. I had to go back to my OEM battery and yeah, what was the mistake, what was the issue, why it didn't work. But I already told you that the NLP9 is a overkill, or underkill actually, to be specific, because I would never ever advise someone to buy that. And the only reason for the third time today is that I did it because I got a lucky deal. Other than that, I would never go with an NLP9 because it's way too small. NLP14 should be the absolute minimum, and if budget allows it, NLP20 is the perfect deal. NLP30 is now an overkill towards, you know, you have something that there is no need. Nothing else that comes to mind right now. There are some projects on the background that we are working on them, me specifically, and some projects Alex as well. So stay tuned. Maybe after a couple of days, you know, the seasonal shock that I talked about will be reduced and normal temps will be back, and we will be able to get a race or two with the MR2 or even the Celica. Love, peace and SGS, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.